Hello friends, welcome to TD Homestead. Today is Thursday, May 22nd, 2025. It's been a bit since we've made a video, a couple of weeks or so. So I figured we'd get a quick look around the garden and then we're gonna probably go over here and harvest some potatoes. But first, let's take a look right here. You see our tomatoes from this side are looking pretty good. That's the basil on the end, growing pretty well. That's the plant we had to replace. It's doing okay. I see some tomatoes forming back in there on that one on the back side. Those are Krista tomatoes. But we do have an issue. Well, here's one issue is the wind's been blowing our pepper plants pretty strong. And so they're leaning pretty good. Pull a few weeds while I'm standing here. But our problem we got right here, we got some kind of either wilt disease or I'm not sure what it is, some kind of root knot nematodes. I ain't sure. We've been having that problem with certain plants for the past couple of years. Doesn't usually affect all of them, and they always seem to be towards this end of the garden, whether they're in the ground or in the raised bed for whatever reason. The rest of the plants are looking pretty good though. Behind us, the peas, they're a mess. They didn't get harvested when they should have, and so they're a tangled mess. Or they didn't get trellis is really what I should say, like they should have. So that's what's made them such a mess. But we got some peas in there, so we're probably going to go ahead and do a harvest on the peas in the next day or so and just take these all out and just harvest whatever we can get off of them. Start with something else. Onions, they're still growing pretty good, but it's about time to harvest them as well. You see some leaning. We got some decent sized ones, at least a couple in there that are decent sized. Some of them split. Like that right there was the onion set we saved from the onions last year. Actually, that one split and that one. This one here split. And you see the flower got trapped down into it. So it's blooming way down there next to the onion. Anyway, let's go on. This bed's completely gone. We need to pull that up and feed it to the chickens. There's some spinach and greens that have completely bolted. And here's our potatoes. So these potatoes, if you watched the video, they were planted on February 9th. And they were potatoes that we bought at the grocery store that didn't get used in time. And so the ones in this 5-gallon bucket and in that bigger nursery pot, they were some really shriveled up, almost to nothing potatoes. And then these over here, the potatoes weren't shriveled up, but they had already started growing lots of eyes. We was probably going to harvest that 5-gallon bucket for today. But before we get into that, let's take a, well, I didn't tell y'all about this either. So we've been having some strong winds, and they snatched this part of the greenhouse cover off. They were so strong that they even lifted up this concrete paver here. It's like this 18-inch by 18-inch paver. Lifted it up off the ground and moved it all the way over to there. So with some strong winds, like I said, let's step in here. That's our miracle fruit plant. I mean, it's alive, but it's not never thriving. We got to figure out the secret to that. But here's our pineapple. Quick look at that. See, it's starting to form a crown now. So it'll still be a while before it's ready to harvest, but it's growing along pretty good. And then here in the greenhouse, that avocado's looking sad. That one's looking decent. That one's looking decent. We need to still trim that off. Here's our container citrus, most of it anyway. Still looking pretty good, but we definitely need to do some up potting. We've been working on that. We got a lot of seedlings down here that are Dunstan Citramelo and I Chang Lemon, and some of our cold hardy stuff here. And we have been up potting some of it. So right here we got some I Chang Lemon and a Dunstan Citramelo that we up potted. Here's a couple of our Meyer lemons that we've just got done up potting. You can see they got lemons on them. So Those are the ones we started from cuttings back in October 30th, 2022. Then here's our cold hardy hibiscus that we got a few weeks back, and it's looking pretty good. I guess one of the bad things I could show you is this here pineapple guava wasn't getting water for whatever reason. It was getting mist in it, so it's dried up there at the top, but it's still alive. The ones that we separated a couple weeks back, they're both doing good. They're right there. But anyway, before this video gets too long, let me go ahead and get set up to harvest these potatoes, and I'll be right back with you. All right, I think that'll work pretty good for us. I mentioned earlier, we planted the potatoes on February 9th, so today is 102 days, I believe, if I counted right. So let's just see what we get. Two tiny, shriveled up potatoes, probably weren't bigger than a walnut, that we got from our grocery store potatoes. So if we get anything, it's a win, because they were headed for the trash. So start off with, look, I found a grub right here at the bottom, so hopefully it ain't eating our potatoes. See some other bugs in here. So the potatoes that we started with, they were planted here just about 3 inches up from the bottom. So we're probably already about to where they were. All right, here's the one little tiny one. Dirt blowing in my face. All right, there's another one. So I'm not expecting any giants in here, but we might get lucky. That one ain't too bad. So we've already got a win no matter what we end up with. So once I get all of them harvested, I'll we got a bunch of pincer bugs in here. I don't know what that means or not, but anything we get is a win for us here. Not even sure exactly what kind of potatoes these were. I think they might have been some russet. We could have let these go just a little longer, and we are going to let the rest of them go until the plants die. Probably at least another week, couple weeks, probably at least another week anyway. Well, it don't look like we're going to end up with a whole bunch, but considering what we started with, I think that's pretty good. Enough for a little side for one person, maybe two. Definitely for one. So it's not a lot. But we didn't. If you go back to the video, you'll see that what we started with was pretty much nothing. We just had to see what we end up with in the other ones. But so there you go. Couple of them ain't bad. And again, it was just two tiny little shriveled up pieces. Probably won't much bigger than this one right here. So I'm happy with that. Anyway, thank y'all for watching, and until next time, be kind and enjoy your day.